So welcome to Finex School Season 12. This is the 12th edition of our workshop-styled interactive session. Now, our goal is to provide a platform for workers and students to be able to improve their skills, work smart, save time at the office. So this is the 12th edition, and we are happy to have you join us. The goal of today's preview class or orientation is to give you an overview, heads up on what you are assigned. This is very important because for most of the modules, you need to understand what they are and then what you can get from it. We'll give you an opportunity to also ask your questions, and then we can resume the season. That is our typical tradition. So this first session is to introduce Finex Skills Hub to you. And then you meet the team, and then I'll lay out the agenda. So this is season 12, and we are going to go through Finex Skills Hub, what we stand for, our history, a vision and mission, what's new this season. You also get to meet the team, and then we'll discuss the agenda. So this shouldn't go beyond 10:30. So we'll try and finish everything by 10:30. Now, what about us? So Finex Skills Hub is a digital skills training hub. So what we specialize in are these tools and counting. So we specialize in training in Microsoft Office tools. Microsoft Excel is our mainstay. We train in PowerPoint business presentations as well. And we do data analytics with Power BI and financial modeling. So Finex Skills Hub is the approved training provider in Ghana for the Financial Modeling Institute. We also train in low-code app development. So we do Power Apps, we do App Sheets as well. And then generally, we also train in coding Python. So these are the tools. Why do we do this? You see, back in school, we don't really learn this in a structured way, even if we do. So we realize that if most people turn up at the office, these skills now become a hurdle, right? It can make the difference between closing early, getting promotion, getting the job done, getting insights to your boss and all that. So what we at Finex Skills have decided to do is to commit ourselves to research on skills that we feel will be very useful to workers, particularly in this modern era, this data era, this AI era. So the list you see here will keep growing, we'll keep researching, and then ensure that we save time and then work smart at the office, even if you're an entrepreneur as well. Okay, so I want to proceed and give you reasons why it should be Finex. So this is our community. For those of you who are in person, we welcome you to the hub. What is unique about Finex is reflected in our slogan. So we learn, we connect, and then we grow. Okay, so our training sessions are workshop styled with a lot of hands-on practice. So over time, you realize that when we give you lessons, there are also assignments, project work, group work, because we believe that learning is not just a presentation, but a lot happens when the fingers connect with the brain. So ours is a workshop style. So whatever module you are signing up for, whether it's financial modeling, data analytics, Microsoft Excel, it is important that you get the skills beyond the presentation in the class. So we have things we've put in place to make sure this happens. The second reason is that our facilitators are certified trainers. So every member of the team, we've committed ourselves to writing the exam on the subjects that we teach, right? So we have Microsoft certified trainers. In fact, all of us are advanced financial modelers. So as approved training providers of the Financial Modeling Institute, we all have sat for the 4-hour exam in financial modeling, and we have certification for that. Aside that, we also have Microsoft certified trainers with us as well, financial modelers and valuation analysts, FNVA, and all that. So at least we've gone through it, and then it makes it very easy for us to also pass our experience to you, right? Now, the unique thing about Finex is that it's a growing community. We have a very vibrant alumni network. We are almost 400 and counting. You have a mix of bankers, engineers, accountants, caterers, entrepreneurs. This is important because we think it spices up the learning, right? So if you're in a class and you have a mix of students and workers, you get the student angle, you get the work experience angle. It makes it nice, right? When you finish learning, you don't end your participation in Finex. You are added to WhatsApp groups, and you also continue learning as they release new features. Okay, we update you as well. Now, we also give you flexible online and in-person schedules. So what we've done is we know there are a lot of workers with us. Not everybody can come on Saturdays. And those who can join us on weekdays, we've made provision for that. So for our tracks, we have the weekday and the Saturday option. And with these two tracks, we also give you online and in-person learning options as well. People have their preference. Some prefer to sit comfortably by their laptops over a cup of coffee and learn, okay, at their home. And those who also want to join in person and see the teachers physically interact with students, we also give you that option as well, right? As I mentioned earlier, every classroom has a mirror virtual class. So even if you are joining an in-person class, the virtual class has the same content. So we record these sessions and then make it available in our Google Classroom. I'll demonstrate that. Now you have lifetime access to all these videos and resources that we provide. So after the season, you can always play back, you can always reference, okay, as long as Google is operating. So that is one of the key advantages that we give you. So these are among many the reasons why you should join Finex Skills Hub to learn and save time and improve productivity. Now, our history. So Finex goes all the way back. Before we moved here to our training hub, we used to have training sessions at the University of Ghana. So this is one of the shots from our early training sessions at the University of Ghana. So this is how it started. In fact, the first class started with 5 students. And in season 2, that is season 2 for you. So a lot of the guys are in there. I see Kwame, I see Eric. They are still here. They're on the call. And it shows you how vibrant the community is. So since 2016, we've been passing on these skills, data analytics, financial modeling, and Microsoft Office tools, okay? And we've seen the immense value these skills have added to the career of our community members, okay? Sometimes what makes the difference is just one nice dashboard and you're indispensable because everybody wants insights, right? So that is our history. Now, our vision is to create a community of digitally savvy students and workers, impacting office productivity with time-saving solutions. We want anybody who has come through Finex to be distinct, to show up. So if you're in an office and somebody is doing very well with these tools, right, we want that person to be somebody who has come through Finex. Finex Skills Hub members shine when they are at the office. So we want to increase this pool and have a large pool of students and workers who are impacting office productivity with time-saving solutions. Our mission, of course, as I mentioned, is to bridge that skills gap between what we learn in school and what we do at industry with hands-on training in digital skills. Right? That is our mission. And our goal every year, we hope to create at least and train at least 400 skilled workers. Now, you understand why this number is possible later when I introduce our community. So what we are doing right now is just not the training session we have at Finex Skills Hub. There are other platforms that we use to train as well, right? So that is the vision, mission, and the goals of Finex Skills Hub. Now, this is our community. So as I mentioned, aside our regular Finex School training program, we also run a sponsored training program for girls under 25. We call this Excel Our Girls. We've done 2 editions so far. The goal is to screen and train ladies under 25 in data analytics, Python, Power Apps, App Sheets, Power low-code app development. So anything that they can use to create data-driven solutions, right? We've done one in Python already. We've done one in App Sheet. The next season, we are going to look at Power Apps and how they can use data to create apps to improve productivity. So that is Excel Our Girls. Then we also have our Students in Data Analytics project. This is a project we are doing currently at the University of Ghana Business School. We hope to extend this to more tertiary institutions. Now, these 2 projects are pro bono projects. These are free projects. We run it for the girls, we run it for the students. We believe these are seeds that will bear fruits. In fact, they've given us a lot of fruits already, right? So we are happy to know that when these students go on, they impact, they are change agents, and they are able to also create solutions at their various workplaces. So aside our regular Finex School, these are the 2, if you like, social projects that we do. Then this is Finex School. Okay, so we have Finex School. This is our hands-on training for students and workers in industry, right? And this is our 12th edition. So currently, these are the 3 pillars of our community, and hopefully you are going to be part of this growing community. So what's new this season? Well, we are committed to continuous research. The reason we've gone 12 seasons is that every season we pause, we research, we ask ourselves what is new, what features can we add, which new case studies can we bring. So last season, for those who joined us in season 11, the focus was more on business presentations with PowerPoint. So that was a new model that we introduced. Okay, our regular data analytics and Excel for work run alongside. Now this season, financial modeling is back. So we want to reintroduce financial modeling. We took a break. So we are introducing it with a new twist, how to use it to track actual and budget. So that is what is new this season. And then we also have our regular data analytics program with Power BI. And then we also have our regular Excel for work. We'll go into this in detail as we go through the brochure in the next few minutes. Okay, so let's meet the team. So Finex Skills Hub currently we have 10 members in the team. So this is yours truly. Bernard is here. So Bernard is a Microsoft MVP, a Microsoft certified trainer, an advanced financial modeler, and then a financial modeling and valuation analyst. That's the FMVA. So that's me. Then this is Osbert. So Osbert is also an advanced financial modeler with the Financial Modeling Institute. Osbert is in charge of finance at EcoCare, an NGO in forestry. So Osbert is around to help us with everything operations and logistics. You meet Osbert in person if you come around. So then we have the Excel guy. So this is Ferdi. So Ferdi is also a Microsoft certified trainer, an advanced financial modeler with the Financial Modeling Institute as well. We call him the Excel guy for a reason. So as you engage him in the Excel sessions, you appreciate why he's so called. So that is Ferdi. And then we have Danilo. So Daniel is our go-to guy. He's a chartered accountant and decided to apply the chartered accountancy to Excel and low-code app development. So our app sheet programs, our Power Apps program, and then if you really want fantastic formulas with Excel, he's the guy to go to, right? He generates very creative formulas with Excel. So Daniel, Ferdi will be in your Excel class. That is also an advanced financial modeler as well. So that is the first set of the team members. The second set, we have our in-house data scientist, Priscilla. So Priscilla is currently a software engineer at CBG. She is also an advanced financial modeler. She's an Azure data scientist. So I'll be doing the Power BI session with her, the data analytics class. So that's Priscilla. And then we have Ernest Abuaje. So Ernest is our main man in charge of financial modeling and all the numbers. So Ernest is in strategy and finance. I keep missing the two. He's here, he'll correct us later. So he works in strategy and or finance at APSA. So he's the financial modeling person here at Finex Skills Hub, ably supported by D. Winger. So later I'll introduce D. Winger as well. Ernest is an advanced financial modeler too. He's a CIMA fellow, a chartered management accountant. He's here with us on the call as well. And then Na, ever smiling Na, a financial modeling and valuation analyst. She's currently sales analyst at Danex. She's also part of the Excel for Work team, very patient teacher, breaks it down at P1 level. So you meet Na as well. And the other main person in the financial modeling team is our international financial consultant, D. Winger Amenonka. So D is also an advanced financial modeler, a Microsoft Office specialist. He is also versed in financial modeling. He also transitions into Power BI occasionally with us. Okay, so the Winger, you meet him in person or online. Then our baby last is also here. So that's Solace. So Solace is our student ambassador at our Students in Data Analytics project at the University of Ghana Business School. So Solace is part of the team. In fact, she was the best graduating student at our first edition of Excel Our Girls. So for those who are in person, you'll meet Solace later. So that's the team. Hopefully you meet them and interact with them. And let's go to the agenda for today. So in the next few minutes, we want to walk through the brochure. A lot of you have gone through, but we want to go through in detail. You ask all your questions. And we'll also demo the modules. So when we say Excel for Work, what does it mean? When we say data analytics with Power BI, what does it mean? When we talk about financial modeling, what does it mean? We are trying to unpack this so that maybe you signed up for Excel for Work, but you realize that data analytics can also help you. Or maybe you think it's too much on the table, you want to rearrange. That is the purpose for the preview class and orientation class. So that is what we are going to do. Then we'll discuss logistics as well. So we'll walk you through how we do our virtual lessons and then how we do our in-person sessions. Okay, we've been doing this over years using Google Classroom. It's very interactive for our online sessions. So it's not a typical Zoom meeting, no. We allow you to practice. You share your screen, we also share our screen, and then we get along, right? And then later we'll take your questions. So this is the first part of the presentation. We'll have a session for questions. So that is that for Finex Skills Hub. Now, without wasting much time, I want to quickly switch to the brochure. And then we'll go through all the modules. Okay, so the idea is to unpack them. So for the first session, we are going to look at Excel for Work. Okay, so we are going to look at Excel for Work. Now, what is Excel for Work? So Excel for Work is your typical Microsoft Excel learning from beginner, advanced, beginner, intermediate to advanced. But what is special about what we do is that we apply it to work case studies. So over time, what we have experienced as workers. So as a former banker, Ernest as also a banker, now as a sales analyst, we bring all our experiences together and then we use it to form case studies. We teach these topics in a structured way. We start from a blank workbook, okay? So we don't make any assumptions. There are no experts. And then we take the topics and apply them to case studies step by step. So that is what we call Excel for Work. So we are going to go through the topics quickly. Freddie is going to demonstrate what each topic represents, and then to ask your questions. Then after, we'll look at data analytics with Power BI. What is it about? Then we will look at financial modeling as well. All these very brief overviews, right? Then after, we'll take your questions. So this is Excel for work. There are 4 main pillars. So we have overview and shortcuts. So here, our goal is to help you get comfortable with Excel, understand the architecture. We go into the mind of the developers. What did they have in mind when they were putting this spreadsheet together? You learn to appreciate how it calculates. Okay, learn the shortcuts as well, the alt keys, the control shift combinations, and all that. So that is the first pillar. Then we'll go into formulas and functions. There are over 500 functions in Excel, still counting. Okay, but we say that you don't really need to master all. If you are working in the office, typically your lookup functions, index match, X lookup, okay, your date functions, your text functions, your logic functions, if and or, arithmetic aggregating functions, some ifs. These ones, if you master them, okay, you can do a lot more with it, right? So we'll go through examples of these functions. And then once you've mastered these and you've gotten comfortable, we'll learn how to do simulations with Excel. So here we go through the what if analysis tools, goal seek, data tables, scenario manager, and solver. And then we conclude with data analytics with Excel. So here we introduce the tools for data analytics, pivot tables, Power Query, Power Pivot. Okay. Then you learn how to build an interactive dashboard using elements like slicers, timelines, and all that. So that's typically how Excel for work is run over the years. So to give you insights, Freddie is going to share his screen and then walk through some of these examples so that you can appreciate what these topics represent. Okay, so if Freddie is ready, I'm going off currently and then Freddie will share his screen. So Freddie, if you are ready, please take over. So while Freddie is setting up, we'd like to welcome those who are joining us in person at the training hub at the moment. Those watching online too, thank you for joining. So Freddie, if you are ready, please share your screen.
Yeah, good morning. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So welcome everyone. Uh, Let me know if you can see my screen. I'm going to that.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. So for the Excel for Work team, so this is what we have for you for this season. So we normally typically start with a blank sheet, as Bernard mentioned. So in the first few weeks or days, we'll learn about the Excel interface, what are the various components of Excel, and how to modify or customize Excel to your need. So typically, if you can see on my screen, for those who are watching from their laptop, so you can see on my screen here, you can see at the top here, I have File Home, Finex Excel, Finex Skills Hub, Abuna, Mesa, Ivonama Duce. So I believe that none of you have some of those names over there. So we'll learn how to, create our own, ribbon. All right. So you can create your own ribbon, put whatever that you need in those ones, name it the way you want it. So that'll be the very few things that we'll learn about, the interface. So what are cells, what are ranges and all that. And we also learn about tricks and shortcuts. So typically, so if I have a data like this one, so I want to add maybe borderlines to this data. How to quickly do that? So here I can just highlight by doing Control A and do a series of shortcuts to apply some border to it. So as you can see, I've just applied a border to this one, and nobody saw my mouse moving. So that's a way to use your shortcuts effectively. So here I'm going to format these numbers here. So that is Control Shift 3. Sorry, Control Shift 1. So I just formatted all these numbers by bringing my comma for the thousand separator, and also the decimal places. So two decimal places for these numbers. And we also learn how to format, dates. And typically date sometimes comes as numbers. So as you can see here, this is a number, but we can also make it look like a date. So I do this Control Shift hash or 3. So that will be formatted as dates. And one major problem that we also face, especially for those who do data entry, is whenever you are typing a telephone number, the leading zero will disappear. So how do we bring it back? So here quickly on this one, so you do Control 1 and you go to custom, and you just format this, and you see the zero appears. So anytime that you type a number, the zero will appear. So that will be for the first week for our Excel program. So this topic 1. So I believe we can move to topic 2. Ben?
Yes, so that is topic 1. So as I said earlier, we don't make any assumptions. This topic is from a blank worksheet, right? So we walk you through the QAT, the command tabs, the ribbon, how to create your custom ribbons, all that Freddie has said. And then some of these typical office headaches, entering telephone numbers, formatting dates, and all those things. So that's topic 1. Then in topic 2, we'll look at mastering cell referencing and creating effective formulas. Every formula in Excel starts with an equal to, but a lot happens after that, right? If you appreciate the fact that Excel is made up of a grid system, a cell, what is a range, right? Columns and rows. What happens when you move formulas to the right? What happens when you move formulas down? If you master this cell referencing, what we call absolute, mixed, and relative referencing, you can create formulas in just a flash, right? So I'll hand over to Freddie to demonstrate what we mean by mastering cell referencing and creating effective formulas.
Okay, so for topic 2, we are going to learn how to create, effective formulas using cell referencing. So this is a typical example for us to demonstrate that. For example, you have your multiplication table here. So what we want to achieve with this is to just multiply each of these numbers by this and put whatever output in this grid here. So if I give you this to do, basically what people do is that they will do a cell by cell calculation, but there is a way that you can do and just write just one formula, and with the trick, you can be done in just some few seconds. So here we go. So I have this and apply this, and here. So if I take this one here, this number here, 25, you can see it's 5 times 5. So that will give me what? The 25. I take maybe the 9 here. So 9 will be 3 times, 3. So as you can see, I just wrote just one formula and I apply, some shortcuts to it, and you can see populated it all this cell. So basically, this is what you are going to learn, and many more in this particular topic. Okay, so
Fantastic.
that'll be topic 2. So topic 3.
So in topic 3, After you have settled in, you know how to work with the equal sign, how to reference, how to log cells and all that. We are now going to look at how to aggregate. You see, when you're learning Excel, the formulas that you start with are sum, average, max, count, those basic ones, right? But beyond doing sum, average, min, max, what if you are supposed to do these aggregations based on a criteria, right? It can be one criteria or many. If you have data and you've been asked to calculate the total sales of a particular product at a particular month or in a particular month, okay, how do you use one formula to achieve that? So the next topic will be basic math operations with criteria. And then you also learn how to use tables, which is a very important feature in Excel to structure data and then calculate smoothly. So Freddie, over to you.
Okay, so let's do this calculation quickly. So here you have a data where you have name, gender, department, salary, and you are supposed to determine the total salary of those who are in finance. So what are the functions that you can use? So here we can go with sum if. Okay, so let's do equal to sum ifs. And we take our range here and we bring our criteria. We close, sorry, I missed the criteria range here, so take this. And I'm able to calculate the total salary of those who are in finance. So as you can see, we have two people in finance. So if I add, their numbers, that will be 9,000 that I get here. So let's also do a count of, the number of females employees. So we use a function called count if. So I do this and I pick my criteria to be this. And we're able to get 3. So as you can see here, we have 3 females here. So these are, okay, so these are the function that we are going to use in this and many more. We have the average if, the sum ifs, and all. We can also do other function like some product and all, but basically this is some of the things that we'll see. So that will be topic 3. So now moving to topic 4.
Yes, so in topic 4, this is another important function or family of functions. So we call them the logic functions, right? So you now know how to sum, average, count on criteria. Now, if you are given data, you're supposed to apply a certain value based on what is present or not in a particular cell. You need to use logic functions, right? The logic functions are not only limited to if, there's and, there's or, okay? There's XOR, there's not, okay? So we are going to introduce you to how to use these set of functions, okay, to assign values based on conditions. So Freddie, if you can demo how we use the if formulas.
Okay, so here we have a data and we are supposed to reduce the salaries, okay, but by 15% and 10%, depending on the condition that says that if the salary is above 4,000, we reduce it by 15%. If not, it should be 10%. So that was during the COVID time where people wanted to, cut costs. So here, let's assume that we have this salary, we multiply by the percentage. So the percentage will be based on the condition that this salary should be greater than 4,000. So in that case, here, let me put the 1 here. So 15%. If not, that will be a 10%. So just to explain, we are multiplying the salary by, the reduction, and the reduction is calculated using this formula, the if formula here. So when I press enter, I'm able to get this. So let's quickly go through this first one. So here, this number or this amount is not greater than uh 4,000. So that means that will be a 10% reduction, and 10% on 3,000, that will be 300. So minus 300, that will be 2,700. So when we take this one, that is above 4,000. So that will be a 15% reduction. If you do the calculation, you get this figure. So these are some of the things that we are going to learn during the logic function. And as Bernard mentioned, we are also going to use the and or function, also powerful, function, that's we are going to use during that topic. So after this topic, we move to the next topic, equally important, that is topic 5.
Yeah. So in topic 5, now one thing I need to point out is that in all the examples that we use here, we take it from beginner, right? So in each topic, you have like a scale of examples. So we start from a very basic application, understanding the concept, okay, and then you just build gradually, right? So these examples that Freddie is demonstrating are not your typical examples, okay? So we just scale it gradually so that all beginners can also come along, right? Now, another important area is the lookup functions. I know most people are very comfortable with VLOOKUP, but in Finex, we do not use VLOOKUP. We teach it, but we don't use it. There are obvious reasons for that, because VLOOKUP has weaknesses. So no Finex student uses VLOOKUP, right? We teach you alternatives like index and match, XLOOKUP, okay, and even filter, right? So when we say lookup, it is a broader set of functions, not just VLOOKUP, and that is what this topic is about. So Freddie, if you can demonstrate.
Okay, so having this student record here, so we want to look up the various, either the name, the gender, department, or the GPA based on a student ID. So if I come here and I select any of the IDs here, I should be able to get, the answer for that particular, ID here. So here I want the name, the gender, followed by department and GPA. So the function that Bernard mentioned, so we can use VLOOKUP, we can use XLOOKUP and all those things. But when you come to finance, you start learning about index and match, and you bury your VLOOKUP, knowledge somewhere else. So here typically, so we have this index and match. So this is typically what we call the index match. It's not difficult to learn, but it's very interesting when you are learning those. So I get this for the first one. So if I change, so this is the first guy here. So I'm able to get the information for this first person. So if I switch to another ID, so let's say this, so you can see that the information updates according to whatever. And as you can see, I've been using just one formula. I don't repeat the formula. So these are some of the tricks that you learn how to write, formulas effectively by just writing one formula and pressing, your shortcut to populate it into the other cell. So typically that's what you learn for topic 5. So from here, we move to the next topic, that is manipulating text or data using a text function.
Yeah, so here the goal is to help you know how to clean up text or manipulate text. You have data sets with lowercase, you want to make it uppercase, you want to extract, you want to combine or merge, okay? You want to use a certain, remove some strange characters and all those things. Right? At a very basic level, there's text functions that can help you do this. Later, you can use Power Query to do that, but it's not everything that you should fire up a Power Query. So in this topic, the goal is to show you how to manipulate and clean up text, okay, so that you can always analyze in a clean way or remove all those strange elements from your data set. So Freddie, over to you.
Okay, so here we have this system dump here where we have the name followed by a comma, the gender followed by the department. So in one cell. So what we want to do is that we want to separate those one into their own cells. Okay, instead of being in one cell. So we want to put the name, the gender, and department here. So we can use text functions to do that, but I want to teach you something else. So here we are going to use a tool in Excel called text to column. So we come to data, text to column. So we dump that one here. So it's not just about the functions. We have a function, we can also use the function to also achieve the same. But there are other tools as Ben mentioned, Power Query, text to column, and many other tools that you can use to also achieve the same. So basically we'll learn how to do with the functions, we'll also learn how to do it with the tools. So this will be for manipulating data for that topic. So our next topic that's going to be a goal seek.
Okay, so now that you've mastered the common functions, okay, what we do is to now introduce you to the simulation tools in Excel, right? So here we talk about goal seek, data tables, scenario manager, and solver. This is what makes Excel powerful, right? Not just a calculation engine, but it can simulate and then give you different results. Okay, so if typically you are doing a presentation and then you want to present, let's say, how much sales or profit you will make, okay, goal seek and scenario manager and some of these tools would help you present different scenarios live, okay, without recalculating multiple models, right? So Freddie will demonstrate how these tools work shortly. I've seen the questions. I've seen JB, I've seen Silvanus. We'll take them after the session. So please note your questions for me. Freddie, please proceed.
So with this topic, we are going to learn how to use the tool. So this time around, no calculation here. So here our goal is to, so here we have 3 courses. So Excel for Work, Financial Modeling and Analytics. And so here, the person have scored 88 for Excel for Work, 84 for Financial Modeling. And the person is supposed to be awarded, a scholarship. But before he gets that award, he needs to get an overall average score of 90. So having taken these 2 tests already, so what should be, the lowest mark for analytics such that, you get an overall, average score for of 90. All right, so here we can come here and do the calculation ourselves, where you can do some try and error by putting maybe 87 here and see if you're able to reach that goal, or maybe going to 88. You do like this, for so many times. But as I said, we are going to use a tool. So typically the tool is called Go Seek. So you go to the data, and what if analysis, go seek, and you fill in this. So your value is 19 by changing this song. So you click here, and Excel will do the calculation for you. So it takes its time, go through all the various calculation, and it gives you an optimum number. Okay, that will give you an average score of 90. So if the person gets a 98, the person is clearly going to get, whatever award, is supposed to get, or scholarship. So, I mean, this is just a basic situation, but we can apply it to, various case study, such as your POIE and all those things. Okay. So we'll go through some case study for the goal scenario manager and also data table. So typically these are some of the things that you see. And after that, we'll also learn how to create a dashboard. So just to quickly go through the dashboards. So this is one typical dashboard that we'll create. So an interactive dashboard. So you have your slices, and so the data starts somewhere like this. Okay, so you have this data here, and you are supposed to create insight from this data. So by creating what, a dashboard. So as you can see, we have this one, so we can interact with our dashboard. So I can select any of those ones here, and I'm able to get answers from this dashboard. So basically, this is how we are going to go through the various topics. And yeah, so basically, so that will be the icing on the cake for us to build this powerful dashboard. So Bernard.
Thank you very much, Freddie. So, in fact, this is our introductory dashboard. So, if you start at Finex, Finex does very wonderful dashboards. This one is where we start from. But of course, as you progress, there are very powerful ones that you can see on our YouTube channels and all that. Okay, so this is just an overview of the topic that we are going to go through in Microsoft Excel. At this point, I want to take your questions on what we've spoken about so far before I introduce data analytics with Power BI. Okay, so I saw Silvanus. If you have any questions, please raise your hand and then we'll take it. So Silvanus, if you are ready, you can ask your question. Okay, if Silvanus is not ready, I'll go to JB. Hi, JB.
Yes, hello. Bernard.
Yes. Silvanus,
Hello,
yes.
Bernard.
Please go ahead.
Yes. I had wanted, when Freddie was doing the what if in relation to the 3,000, if the salary was 3,000 or 4,000. No, I think it was if the scenario was if you do a multiplication or you reduce the amount by 10% if it is more than 4,000, and then 15%. No, 15% if it is more than 4,000, and 10% if it is more than 3,000. I'm sure that was the scenario, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So I was wondering. I realized that there was some 4,000 in there, and it was the multiplying factor 10. Can we have a similar one where it is 4,000 and more, or we can just go by the flats if it is more?
Okay, I get you. So here's the thing. Okay, good question. So goal seek allows you to vary one input, but in this topic, you learn how to use solver. So solver allows you to add other inputs with constraints. So the constraint will take care of what you are talking about, right? Maybe you want it to vary within this range or something like that. So goal seek is the starting point, but solver allows you more room to vary the inputs within a certain range or constraint. So we'll cover that during the topic. I hope that helps.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Next up, JB, and then I'll take Barbara, Echao, and then Nana Sewa. JB, you had your hand up.
Hello, Bernard. I think mine was a mistake, but I have something to say about what this whole orientation is. Personally, I actually intended to sign for something else, but now I'm beginning to love this. So it gives me the view that this particular orientation is very, very true. Like, it really orients you as to what you are going into and what you think you needed, but this one will give you a different perspective as to what actually you need than what you think you needed. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. That's the whole idea of the orientation, because sometimes people have a certain picture when you say Excel, okay, and what we seek to do is to make sure we are on the same page with you, okay. So I'm happy you gave us that feedback. Thank you. Barbara, if you're ready.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I think
Good morning.
my question has been answered. I wanted to know whether you share the data with us so that we do the hands-on as and when you are doing it. But it's been
Yeah.
answered. I also wanted to know how many hours each session is and how many weeks the course is. I can't recall what was said. And lastly, I want to appreciate, the orientation. It's a good one. It prepares us to what is ahead. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So quick responses. So typically we budget for 2 hours for a session, but settling down, recapping and all those things, active learning is 1 hour, 30 minutes. So we think that this is fair. So 1 hour, 30 minutes is a typical session, online and in person, right? And then those who are doing more than one, we give you a 15-minute break to stretch before you transition into that. The data will be shared. In fact, this video will be shared in the course of the week, and then we'll add the data to it so that you can practice as well. There was a third question.
No, the third one was just feedback on the orientation, that it's good, it prepares us to what is ahead. The other question is, can you mix in person with online? Let's say if I have a time on a Saturday, can I pass through in person and the other days do online? Is it the same fee? Yeah.
Okay, so yes, that is possible. But what we encourage you to do is, if you do the weekday track, you keep to the weekday track, but you can switch between in-person weekday and online weekday. Here's the thing, I'll go into that in detail later. The weekday track meets twice a week. So example, if you are doing Excel, you meet Mondays and Tuesdays in person, okay? And then the online class will meet for the same topic, okay, on Wednesday and Thursday, right? So you can switch, but if you are doing Saturday, then you can also switch between the Saturday in person and Saturday online. Because for the Saturday class, they meet once a week. They take it once a week, so they finish later. So that one too, the morning class is an online class, which is 9 to 10:30. And then the in-person class starts right after here at the hub. So that is possible. I'll take Nana Sewa.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you very
Hi,
much,
good morning.
and Ferdinand, for the orientation. I would like to find, I don't know if my question is similar to Barbara's, but then I want to know, apart from the recordings which will be shared, will we have some kind of handouts which has all the shortcuts and stuff like that for the future? I mean, that we can use.
Yes. In fact, in Finex, you are going to get more than handouts.
Okay.
You have been following our YouTube page. You realize that we share at least once a week. We share resources, and then Freddie just showed the typical workbook. So in a typical workbook, this is what you are going to get for the class. You have the table of contents, you have notes gallery, okay? You have the, maybe Freddie, if you can just speak to this. Hi, Freddie, are you there?
Okay. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, so
Yes.
yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so typically, this is the workbook that we are going to share. And in this workbook, as Bernard mentioned, we have the table of contents. So in the table of contents, when you click there, you come to this very page. And this outline all the topics and whatever that you are going to learn. And here you can self-mark yourself here, whether you have understood, is still this, you've mastered that particular topic. And when you are here in the table of content, you can go to a particular, lecture or topic. So for example, I want to go to the referencing. So I come here, I just click on this, and it takes me to that particular one. And from here, this way you do, whatever practice that you are supposed to do. And so that would be typically for, the lesson. And apart from that, we have some notes. So when I come back to the cover page here, so I click to the note gallery. So I have these notes here. So these are links. So for example, I want to learn about maybe the introduction of Excel, or I want to download the Finex, Excel notes. So if you want to download, you can click on this and that will download it for you. But if you still want to read it, so you can click here. So when I click here, I come to the notes and you have all the notes here. So with some pictures to let you know where you are and what you are learning. So as I said, basically, these are some of the stuff that you are going to learn. And apart from the notes, okay, apart from the notes, you also have some video gallery here. So when I click on this, I have this videos gallery. So whichever topic that you want to learn, you can click on any of this. And when you do click on that, it will take you to our YouTube channel, and you watch the videos from that site. And one again, when you come to back to the cover page, we also have assignments. And we really want you to go through the assignments so that we know your strengths. We know what are the topic that maybe we should be revisiting. So here, when you come here, you can go to a particular assignment. So for example, I want to go to the budget assignment. So I click on this. It takes me to the budget assignments. And for example, with this assignment, you also have some help. So you can click on the red button, okay, to go to the YouTube channel and watch, the solution. But you have to try it before you go and watch the solution. So typically, this is the workbook that we'll share for you to go through.
Okay, thank you
so
very much.
yeah, so I have Nathaniel. I'll take Nathaniel, and then we'll quickly go to the Power BI intro as well, and then later come for the questions, so that we can use the time well. So Nathaniel, the last in this batch.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning once again. Please, may I know whether there will be an issuance of certificates at the end of the program?
Okay, so quick response, yes, we'll give you certificates. And then we'll also prep you to sit for the global exam. Okay, so there is a global exam for financial modeling. Okay, there's also a global exam for data analytics PL300. So beyond what we give you, we can also give you guidance on how to write those exams as well. So please keep your questions. I'll come back again, and then we'll let's look at data analytics with Power BI, right? And what we are going to teach you this My apologies. I understand I was muted. So let's come to data analytics with Power BI. So I was saying that what is Power BI? I'm sure most of you have heard it, but it is Microsoft's self-service business intelligence and data analytics tool. We call it self-service because in the past, if you were working in an organization and you needed insights from data, you had to engage IT, they will take the data, analyze it, and then give you insights. You're a bit disconnected from it. But what Power BI gives you is that the individual, the worker, you can get data from many sources, okay? It has many data connectors, so you can get data from Excel, from online, from PDF, from folder, from SQL, okay? A lot of the cloud storage systems, right? If you connect data, you can analyze the data in a more powerful way. So if you're already conversant with how you do these things with pivot tables in Excel, then it's a smooth transition for you. But just that Power BI has a bit more capacity in terms of visualization, in terms of calculations, right? And particularly in terms of sharing and collaboration. Most offices are switching to Power BI because it allows users, either you are the boss or you are the person producing the report, to interact on one same version of the report, right? So even for some banks, they have a whole data analytics team or Power BI team, okay, just in their corner analyzing the numbers. The reason this tool is important is that I dare say it's going to be the tool of the future. So you see how Excel took over, okay? Power BI is also making a lot of, getting a lot of traction in the corporate space. Now, even as an individual, you can start with a desktop version. You don't need a license. Okay, so if you have some side projects that you want to analyze, Power BI gives you that ability. So just as we did with Excel, we have 4 pillars. The data analytics journey with Power BI. You will learn how to get or import data. You see, the whole process starts with what we call an ETL. You extract the data, you transform it, and then you load, right? You learn how to connect data from multiple sources. If you're an Excel user, most likely you'll be using data from one table every time. But what if you have many data sets? The sales data, customer register, locations, inventory. How do you put all these together? Okay, so you learn how to connect the data, and then you create what we call a data model. A data model basically is how you connect these tables using a relationship. It makes it easy to get all your answers from one source. And then you learn how to use DAX. So DAX is the calculation we do in Power BI, data analysis expressions. Okay. Now, all these things are becoming easier because of AI, right? Particularly what Microsoft is bringing into the market called Copilot. Okay. So you don't really have to always calculate from scratch, but you need an understanding of what these DAX functions are and what they can do. They are a bit more powerful than Excel. Okay. You will learn it when we start. And then finally, you would learn how to communicate insights from data with Power BI. When we say create a report or create a dashboard, it is just not splashing charts around. You should be able to tell a story. And that is what we are going to teach you in this season. What story are you getting from your data, right? So that is Power BI. Everybody can use it. You can download it from Microsoft Store. Okay. In fact, when you go to Microsoft Store right now, you look for Power BI Desktop. You can download it, get your sample data, and work with it. Now, anybody can do Power BI. You don't really need to be like a hardcore data scientist or something like that, right? We have people who have not even seen the software go through the process. Now, this is our case study for this season. Every season, we bring a case study. Last 2 seasons, we did HR dashboard. Last season 11, we did sales. Now, this is also a sales dashboard, but what we want to introduce this season is to be able to interact with the data to make decisions. So if you see this simple report, right, it tells us about our actual budget and forecast, revenue, cost, and profit. And then we have our branches here, right? We have these simulators to the right. Now, if you are, let's say, a sales analyst or a finance person or somebody in marketing, you want to be able to control how inflation or changes in FX rates impact your bottom line. Okay, so as an example, if you see this position, what if inflation increases? Okay, you realize that it has an impact on your bottom line. There's a point where it even turned red. Okay, so at this point, let's say you are just trying to simulate or forecast how your numbers will be. This is a typical use of Power BI, right? Then you can even tweak and then check at which level of pricing you'll be able to just neutralize this effect. Okay, so we have these simulators built in our typical sales case study this time to help you not just create charts, but to be able to interact and then get answers from your report. Okay, now aside these simulators and these dynamic objects, we also would allow you to build interaction. For example, maybe you want to focus on a particular branch. Okay, you are allowed to drill through, so you can click and then drill through, and then you see how the branch is performing, right? So this allows you to see the revenue trend for some products, and then maybe in that branch, which particular cities are doing well. Okay, so beyond just doing all the 4 pillars I just introduced, sometimes you always introduce something extra, something a bit. Last season we did how to do maps. Okay, so this season the focus is beyond just the maps, beyond just the charts and the visuals. Okay, how do you use simulations to achieve, get insights from your data? So that is the case study for Power BI. Of course, as I said, if you are a new person, we'll take it from scratch. You don't have to be an Excel guru to join the Power BI class. Okay, so that is the overview. I'll quickly add financial modeling, and then we'll just take your questions, and then I'll do the classroom. So financial modeling is back. Yay. This time around, again, what do we want to do here? We normally teach with the body of knowledge of the the Financial Modeling Institute, the Advanced Financial Modeler Program. Okay, so if you are new to financial modeling, we will start off with Accounting 101. Why? Because we think that financial modeling is not only for accountants and finance people, right? In fact, the best financial modelers are engineers, right? So we want to bring everybody on board, but at least you need to understand how the 3 financial statements talk to each other. So we'll start off with an overview of financial modeling, the income statement, the balance sheet, the cash flow. How does it connect? That level of accounting is good enough. Okay. Then we will learn about budgeting, the types of budgets. Okay. In fact, the case study we are going to use is a very simple case study that you can even use for your small business. Okay. It's not very complicated. Okay. So you learn the different type of budgets. Okay, how to forecast top down, bottom up, trend analysis, and all that. Then we design the budget model structure and then incorporate our typical layouts, the assumptions, the drivers, the scenarios, build our schedules. Okay, so that at least we can output an integrated financial model and then top it up with a dashboard. Okay, so I'm going to show you the dashboard that we have in mind this season. So the dashboard would allow you, so the one that you see is a typical AFM financial model. So while this is opening, you realize that you have assumptions, you have your scenarios. So this is the dashboard that we hope to build this season. Okay, so when we build a financial model, we should be able to switch between our actual and budget numbers. Okay, so those numbers will show over here. Then you are able to see for each line whether you are achieving budget or not. These indicators will show you. Okay, and then just as we did for the Power BI, we are also throwing in some simulation here. Okay, you realize that rent is dollar denominated, but we want to see how it impacts the model or the bottom line. So when we change this FX simulator, rent is in focus. How does it impact, right? So this is what we want to do. Right, so beyond the typical Financial Modeling Institute approach, okay, what we want to do is to give you something that you can use as a template, whether as for your business, for personal, or for your corporate, right? So beyond the assumptions, okay, so you learn how to build assumptions in a structured way. You know that blue numbers represent assumptions. Okay, you learn how to do scenarios, base case, best case, worst case, all in this model. You have your schedules, you have your financials, right? And then in place of the summary, we put on the dashboard that you just saw, right? So that is for financial modeling. It's also a very good skill to have, either as an entrepreneur, a corporate worker, financial analyst, or anybody who does numbers that you use for decision making. So that is the overview. Now, let's talk about the way we will learn. So please note your questions. I want to put all together so that you can answer all the questions at a go. If you are joining us in person, the timetable is like this. On Saturdays, so let me just jump quickly to that. So if you are joining us in person, this is the timetable. Data analytics with Power BI, okay, will run virtual between 6 to 8 p.m. on Mondays and Tuesdays. Okay. So data analytics, just a moment. Okay, so I got feedback to expand this. Let me just do that quickly. Thank you. So data analytics with Power BI will run on Mondays and Tuesdays online. Okay. Now, while we are online, those who are doing Excel for work for the weekday will be here at our training hub from 6 to 8 p.m. So the two will go together. The online team will be teaching online, and then the Excel for work team will be here in person. So that is Monday and Tuesday, right? Then we would flip it for Wednesday and Thursday. So for Wednesday and Thursday, the virtual class will be for Excel, right? And then those who are doing data analytics in person will join between 6 and 8 p.m. at the training hub here. Okay, so it means that if you are doing Excel and Power BI, your meeting time is Monday to Thursday, either online or in person. Now, as we mentioned earlier, if you are doing a weekday track, you're allowed to switch because it's the same content, the same approach, so that people who probably cannot join in person or online can easily catch up. Okay, that's how we've done it. So for that is for the weekday class. Then those who want to join us on Saturday, this is the program. Like this morning, we will be having Excel for work online, 9 a.m. to 10:45. While that is going on, the financial modeling class will be in the classroom in person. Now, we tried something last season. So people are asking for a virtual financial modeling. Well, what we did last season is that we broadcast the in-person class live. Okay, so the facilitator will share his screen and then you are able to interact with those who are in person as well. So if you want to do financial modeling virtual, it just means you may not be able to do Excel for work virtual. Okay, so that is that. So once that class is done, then data analytics with Power BI on Saturday will start after 15 minutes. And then the Excel for work class will convene in person here at the training hub. And then the data analytics class will follow in the afternoon at 1 to 3. So by 3 p.m., you are done. Okay, so that is for the meeting times. Again, you can note your questions. We'll take them after. Now, let me just demo how the classroom works. So after the session, you're all going to be introduced to your classroom. So this is the classroom for this preview class. When you enter the classroom, okay, you find classwork. Okay, so for this session, it is just orientation. If you come to a typical classroom, the topic is here. You have the resources posted maybe a day before. Okay, if there's a video or something like that, it will be posted here. Okay, you'll be given codes to join the classroom. So for those who have signed up and committed, we'll send codes to you latest Sunday evening. Okay, so if you have signed up for a class, please reach out. We'll send you codes to join the classroom. When you log in, these are the tabs that will meet you: stream, classwork, and people, right? So people are the students, your colleagues. Classwork is where you see the topics and the resources. And then stream is where you chat, see announcements, and post questions. So when you come here, right, when it's time for your class, you just click join, okay? And then you connect to the live class, right? So example, if you are doing Excel and Power BI, it means you have 2 classrooms, okay? So that is how we've set it up. So you realize that we have a lot of our classrooms here. This is the classroom for season 11, okay? So this is the classroom for Excel for work. Okay, we just rounded that up, right? So you see that there are some announcements here, some interaction with students and teachers. If you have any questions, you post it here. It would alert us in our emails. Okay, then the classwork. So there was a question on how many meetings. Well, we always say 8 meetings because 8 meetings is the minimum we will do. Sometimes the case study will require an extra topic or an extra week. Okay, so sometimes we do 9 sessions or 10 sessions, depending. Okay, so usually you start from the bottom, the overview, the resources are here. Topic 1, topic 2, topic 3, topic 4, topic 5, topic 6, 7, 8, 9, right? This, you have lifetime access. Even if you finish the class, you can always come back, right? And then play back the videos. Now, what are these playback videos? This is the live session that you participated in. Okay, so beyond just the recordings that we give you, you also create content with us. Please, we encourage everybody to join the live sessions because we cook together, right? So join the live sessions. Don't wait for the playback videos. Join the live sessions. You practice with us. You ask your questions, and then we record it together so that you can play back and then learn a second time. That is where the skill is validated. Don't rely only on the playback videos. Otherwise, you'll be listening to answers to people's questions, right? So that is the typical classroom layout. Then what I want to touch on finally is the pricing. You already know it's been like this for a while. We think it's a good investment. So 1,500 for each model. If you are doing 2, you take 500 off. If you are doing 3, you take 500 off. For those who are paying today, right, you get a 10% discount before or on today. We always extend it to the end of today. So if you're not paid yet, take advantage of our early bird discount. Any payment after today, you have to pay the full amount, right? We also give you 10% on referrals as well. And then for our alumni, if you have joined us and you are joining us again, we give you a 50% discount, right? That's if there's a point in time where you even do it for free. So we really like our alumni, and they are almost 400. What we do is that after each season, we do graduation and then we add you to the community. It's a very fantastic community. We talk about issues. So typically, we post visuals, we discuss financial issues and the things that will enhance our learning. A lot of them are here. Okay, Kwame, Yvonne, BC, and all of you guys, we really appreciate you and your support for Finex Skills Up all this while. So that is about the orientation. I would like to pause here and then now go in and then take your questions. So if you have any questions, kindly raise your hand and then we'll just use the next few minutes to take the questions. So Daniel is on standby. Daniel Ando, kindly ask your question.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Thank you for this orientation. I think it's opened up a little things, some things that I had issues with, but I'm grateful for this. And so it's whipped up my interest though. The only question I wanted to ask is, so I am offering 2 and per the timetable you shared. So I'm doing Excel and then Power BI. I just wanted a clarity on the timetable again. So I chose online. So meaning on weekends, I don't have anything to do with the weekend class. Is that my understanding?
Okay, so the question is, the option you chose, was it the weekday class?
Yeah, so I chose the weekday class for online for the 2 classes. So I wanted to
That's
know,
fine.
as part of it, are you supposed to be part of the Saturday or the weekend class as well?
No, no. You choose the weekday class, then you are on the weekday track. You are not doing anything on Saturday, right?
That's
The
fine.
same content that we teach on weekdays. But you see, the weekday class, they will finish in a month's time because they meet twice a week. And then the Saturday class, they will meet once a week. So they will do 8 Saturdays. So it's the same content. So this is either this or that.
Or that. Okay, that's
Yes.
fine.
Uh-huh.
That's fine.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Welcome. Any question? So I have, next up is Dinah. Oh, sorry. Let me take Lambert. Vanessa, I'll come to you.
Okay.
Is it okay? Lambert, go ahead.
Good morning, and thanks for the opportunity. And I also wanted to know, there are 3 models, okay? And when you were speaking, you alluded to the fact that the DI, well versed in Excel, it's kind of like help you. I wanted to know how feasible is it for someone to combine all these 3 models and still be able to get the best out of it. Because I have the feeling maybe you have to do one step at a time. So how feasible is it for someone to do a 3 model? Is it helpful?
Okay, so that's a good question. So in the past, we've had people do all the 3 models comfortably. So the way we've done it, it just means that if you want to do all the 3 modules, then your option is Saturday, right? So people have capacity. They are able to come with us with financial modeling. So typically means you turn up at 9 a.m. and then do the financial modeling class from 9 to 10:30. We'll give you snacks. So after 10:30, you stretch, get a little energy, and then you sit for Excel for work. Then Excel for work will take you all the way to 12. Again, if you are here in person, realize we have a very lively compound. You can walk around and then do the last module, which is data analytics with Power BI from 1 to 3, right? So typically, if you want to do all 3, that's your typical timetable. You can even do that online on Saturdays because the financial modeling class will be broadcast live, right? It's just that you probably miss out on the Excel for work. Now, I have one of the students who is doing weekday Excel for work and Power BI, but she has opted to come here on Saturdays for financial modeling. That is also possible. So we've just made it flexible. For some people, they want to take it one at a time. That is also fine. So you can do Excel and then join us next season for Power BI. That is fine. The only challenge though is that sometimes these tools change. They are changing. It's very fluid. So for Power BI, you realize that there's been a lot of updates since February. So in fact, even in March and April, the whole visualization setup changed. It moved up instead of staying to the right. So we feel that because of the impact of AI and Copilot and all those things, embracing these things early, get a good foundation so that if there are any changes, you're able to just tag along, right? But whatever your capacity, it is fine. If you want to do all 3, come along. If you want to do one at a time, come along. That works. Is that okay?
Okay, that's fine. But in terms of capacity, I was thinking more about how easy it is to do everything. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, I get you. So, as I said, all the modules, Excel, Power BI, financial modeling, all of them start from 0. We don't make any assumptions. So in Power BI, when you come, the first step is to download the software, right? So in terms of difficulty, we make it easy, right? You don't have to be an expert before you start any of these modules. But again, if you want to take it slowly, that is also allowed. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Good. I'll take Lambert. Ernest wants to add something. So Ernest, if you can quickly add.
Yes,
Ernest, yeah.
I really want to say that we are allowed to do all of that, but you should also be mindful that you have a lot of steam for it, because there are assignments and exercises that we expect you to do so that you can have the best. What we've seen from most people is that they start with the energy, but as we go, there are reasons why one or two classes they can't make. And for financial modeling particularly, if you miss a class, it becomes a bit challenging to proceed, because you need the skill from the previous class to proceed. So you really need to commit to it, and if you are ready, we are ready to teach.
Thank you, Ernest. So for those who want, Ernest is part of the team. So feedback over the years is, if you have capacity, please commit. If you think you want to take it one at a time, by all means, please take it one at a time. Okay. So that depends on you. Okay. Lambert, at this point, I know we budgeted for 1 hour, 30 minutes. So if you have all your questions answered, then thank you for joining us. But we want to leave this extended session for those who want to ask questions. If you want to stay on and also get questions to some of the answers to, please feel free. Okay. So Lambert, please ask your question.
I think I was the one who just answered me. I just asked my question. So.
Oh, okay. So I'll lower your hand. Jesse.
Good morning. Okay, so my question is, especially for all the courses, those of us who work with a lot of data, maybe when the class is in session, the challenges we meet in the office, we might not be tackling it at the moment. So in case we need expertise, can you call anybody from your team or you to at least give us a little knowledge or wisdom on what to do?
Okay. So there's a reason we call it Excel for work. So usually after the class, what I see most people do is that when they're coming to class, they bring their case studies, okay, so that we can sort of help them tweak and all that. Yes, our facilitators are around. So if you have challenges, then please, it is good to apply what you learn to some of the things that you do at work. But just that sometimes it becomes a whole project. So if it is like a very long support, then we have to find a way to structure that. But if it is in line with what we are doing, then of course, please feel free, bring your, we did goal seek. Can you help me apply it to this scenario? You can always come to class with that. In fact, it is those examples that gave us the examples we are using for the teaching, right? So we encourage you to bring some of the things that you can relate the topics to class. Okay. Yes, sure. Is that okay?
That's fine. That's right. But I have. So, is it starting from today or next week when we start the actual class?
So today's orientation. So yeah. Topic 1 for everybody will be the next day.
Okay.
So Monday is topic 1. So next week Saturday is topic 1 for all the modules. Okay. So no class today apart from the orientation. Yeah.
Okay. That's
okay.
Fine. Thank you.
I'll take Nick.
Oh yes, good morning. I had that similar question. I wanted to know if I have to wait around for the data analytics class today, but I think everything is starting next week, right? For the Saturday class.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay,
yeah, that's
Thank
correct.
you much. Okay, thank you.
So topic 1 for everybody will be either next week Saturday or Monday, right? So today is just orientation. I have 2 more questions from Richard and then Pamela. So we are done with these 2 questions. We'll round up Please feel free to send me any questions on the WhatsApp line, and then we'll be happy to answer. So, Richard. Okay, if Richard is not ready, I'll go to Pamela.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
So with regards to the classroom, I didn't really get the explanation to that, but I just want to ask, is everyone allowed to join the classroom, or is just for those doing the virtual?
Okay, so I think I can connect it to whether you're allowed to switch if you are doing in person. Is that it?
Yes. No, so I
So
just want to know if the classroom is for the virtual participants, or is the in-person people that can have access to the classroom?
So if you are in person or online, you have access to the classroom. Okay. So it becomes complementary to what you do in person or online.
Okay. And secondly, you mentioned having the old people from the previous seasons join this season. Is it that every season comes with an advanced touch or something? So you have to be or it's the same.
It's the same. Okay, so good question. The reason they join us is that every new season we bring something new, a different case study, right? So, example, Power BI last season we did sales data with maps. The previous season we did HR. So, if somebody realizes that actual and budgets this season will help me, even though the person has joined us previously, come back and then get that because of the new case study and examples.
Okay.
Are you with me?
Yes.
So in fact, we have a lot of them here. I'll round up by giving an opportunity for them to give us feedback. Yes. I'll take the last one from Richard. Hi, Richard.
Hi. Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Yes, I think my question was answered earlier on. I was looking at the transition, assuming because of time constraint and financial resources, I cannot do multiple ones at a time. Whether once I'm done with the SL for work, I can immediately continue to the next model, or whether I would have to wait till the next season. I think you answered it somehow. I think I will also humbly plead that at the initial stages when we join, we might be having one concern or the other. So when we call or when we send WhatsApp messages, I think there should be prompt responses. Sometimes there's a bit of delay when we send messages. But this orientation has been open and kudos to you. Thank you.
Thanks for the feedback, Richard. So I have some of the old students here. I don't know if they are still live. Yvonne, BC, Kwame, JB, Sylvanus. Well, the winger is here. So D, you can say hi. So D is our financial modeling facilitator. D, can you hear us? In the meantime, you can put in the comment where you are joining us from. So I see the winger, Emmanuel Edu is here. Ima was with us in season 6. Felix is here. Frida is here. JB is here. I mentioned it earlier. Our main man, Kwame, is also here. If I missed your name, pardon me. Robert is here. Salom is here. Mr. Salowaka, welcome. Yvonne, you want to give us a quick word, probably a testimonial on how Finex, and then probably round up with that. Mrs. Dochi. Sorry, I caught you off guard. Hi, Yvonne, can you hear me? Or anybody from the community, any alumni, just round up for us and then. Yes,
Hi,
Yvonne is here.
Hi, Bernard. Sorry, I couldn't put my mic on. Yes, I've been with Finex now for a long time. I can't even remember which season I joined, but it was, we're not in double numbers yet. And I always join every season as best as I can because I always learn something new. I'm glad that I can see a lot of people on this introductory course, and I will encourage you to pick at least one to do, because there are some people who feel that they're good in Excel, but believe me, once you start doing the Excel course, you'll realize that you're actually not that good, because even the guys who teach Excel, like Ferdinand, they will tell you that there may be a 7 out of 10. So I would encourage all of us to actually put effort in these skills. These skills are really important. So I'd encourage everyone to try as much as they can to put effort into these skills. And also, please do the assignments and rewatch the videos because it helps a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, Yvonne. So Yvonne and a lot more. JB wants to add something. So JB, you give us the final word and then I will round up. JB was part of us last season or two, recent. Hi, JB.
Hi, Bernard. Thank you very much. Truthfully, since I joined Finex, I am glued to the community because just as you've highlighted earlier, every time there's something new. I, for one, decided to do it one by one, and the courses one by one. And I feel that is how I can consume, because I would have to watch the videos, also do assignments and all those things. So I advise that just look at yourself, how you can consume things, and then pick it from there, because everybody has his own strength in all that you do. For me, since I joined Finex, I am every time I am learning something new, and I know that the new people or new colleagues that are joining would also stick. For me, I've decided to join from every season I'll be joining, because I've realized that every time there's something new, and I know that all those who are coming in new will love it here, because the pace at which the facilitators teach is very. If you don't take it, you might think it's very slow, but that is where you'll be consuming the best and understanding the whole thing. So for me, the facilitating, the way they teach about the whole thing is one of the good things they do for me that has helped me. So I know everybody who is on this call will definitely love this course and the community. Thank you.
Thank you, JB. So on that note, I guess it is a case of taste and see. There's a reason Finex has been going on and on. We thank God for that. Our goal is not just the learning. We also want to create a vibrant community, and you meet them as you come around. Beyond the learning, what we want to also achieve is a very vibrant community that we can also leverage on for networking, right? So if you're part of our WhatsApp group, people ask that, do you give jobs and all that? We post a lot of jobs there. People come through Finex looking for financial modelers, data analysts, and all that. Of course, if you join the class and then you showed good feedback, right? People have received offers, okay, through Finex after completing the program, right? So please take it at your pace. If you think you want to do one, it's fine. If you want to do two, it's fine. You can take all three too, it's fine. What we can assure you is that as for us, we'll do our part. The teaching, the providing the resources, engaging you, encouraging you, giving you assignments. Please meet us halfway and then make this work for you. Okay, so on this note, on behalf of the team, we would like to thank you for joining us. Please feel free, reach out. If you have any further questions, post it on the WhatsApp. If you are yet to make payments, you can commit, send a receipt after. We'll send you receipt via email. And if there are any logistics issues, please reach out to us. So this recording we made available in the course of the week with all the resources as well. Thank you very much, and we wish you the best for the rest of the weekend. Enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.